Hi, this is Lucy, and this is My Happy Planet. In this video, we will talk about pros of living in Turkey. If you just want to move to Turkey or you just love to relocate or retire in Turkey, this video as this channel is for you. Is Turkey so cheap as it was a couple years ago? What to do if you want to work in Turkey? And a couple more secrets how to make your life in Turkey the most precious moments in your life. As of now, join me on this journey on finding happy planet or the city and the country to live. So this video is just the quick complete guide you need to understand what is Turkey. And Turkey is different to lots of countries, not only to European region, but as well to bordering countries which would want to explore too. Turkey is located between Aegean Mediterranean and Black Seas and it highly impacts every single aspect of lives of Turkish people. Its history is all about being in the most between and center between Asia and Europe. So this influenced not only trading paths, which literally made Turkey as it is of today and happy and a rich country, but it also allows expats to experience the crossover between Eastern culture and the Western world. And if you're talking about exactly Istanbul, and today we are walking in Istanbul, you'll understand that this city is one of the most cities of contrast, and we are not talking only about east and west sides of the city. It's all about cultural mix, which happily coexists in this beautiful city. And as you understand, Turkey is a member of UN and NATO, as well as associate member of European Union, which makes this city and country the safe region to live. So overall, how much money do you need to move to Turkey and to live one single month? Before that, let's understand what makes the whole cost of living, and here we are as well on number. This is the most appropriate way to understand the most middle side of every single expenses in any city possible, and it's really easy to compare. Let's compare Berlin and Istanbul, and as you see that you need around $2.4 thousand in Istanbul to maintain the same standard of life. You'll need $2,000, almost $400 in Istanbul to maintain the same standard life that you can have with $5,400 in Berlin. 50 to 60% lower to everything in Istanbul comparing to Berlin. So if you are coming to Istanbul to retire, just to live, you need to understand that you need 60% less money in Istanbul than you need in Berlin. And what's important to remember is that the exchange rate between lira, Turkish lira and dollars is insane today. And if you've been to Turkey or Istanbul even a couple years ago or 3 to 4 years ago, you'll see extraordinary prices today in Istanbul and everywhere in Turkey, and this is okay because if you compare those prices in dollars a year ago, 2 years ago, 4 years ago in Turkey to today's prices in dollars, you understand that it's up only for inflation in dollars. So as you see that meal in expensive restaurant, it should be kebab, would be $6, 150 liras. So this is okay. The water. I remember days when the water costed 1 Turkish lira and today it's 10, so you understand inflation is real. I have a great video on this channel about market prices, and in future I will be comparing the same products in lira and in dollars in future videos in the same supermarket, so this will be really fun to understand what's going on with prices. Yes, they're going up, but it's really interesting. Transportation is pretty cheap, so in the end of the day you really need to have at least $2,000, and it's if you are renting with someone, so you share the rent and amenities prices, and this will be the bare minimum to Istanbul, because it's really hard to find, even for long-term rent, anything less than $1,000 today. Istanbul became really expensive. Let's talk with couple of words, but what's going on here is you really need the minimum investment in residential, so it's a flat or house or commercial properties, over $400,000 in order to have a residence permit, which is permanent, not just as if you are just a tourist. Of course, you can rent a flat, which really allows to have this residence permit. It's really dependent from which country you are. For some countries, it's a little bit easier and less fees. For others, it's hard as usual, and you'll most likely have this tourist residence permit for half a year, and then there will be a need to renew it every other half a year, and you really need to be wise where you'll rent with this girl. And I highly recommending hire a consultant, which will help to understand lots of things, because we can talk hours and debate on this theme and it will not be enough. Turkey is really closing borders for such tourist residence permits for lots of countries as of today, and it's really hard. So if you want to buy a real estate, it should be over $50,000 for some areas, for some $75,000, and then you'll be able to place your documents. And as you understand that you will need to wisely choose your district, and for this part you really need a consultant. The same really hard things goes with jobs. I'm recommending you to have your outside of Turkey job if you really need monthly amount of income. As a foreigner, you really need to have a residence permit for a job from your own country, from the embassy of Turkey in your own country, and this is the whole process. So it's really easy because you don't need to work with those tourist residence permits. You just need to work out things even before you are moving to Turkey. So it's really hard on one side, and it's really easier for lots of things on the other side, and as well you'll have a job. So if you do have all the needed documents, just wait a couple of months and you'll be good. We will not talk a lot about places to see in Istanbul, because you will need a life to see everything in detail. On this channel you can find some videos from Turkey. There will be even more, so stay tuned. And I just want to list my top places to see. Those are, and I will have the list in the description of this video, so you'll be able to check them all. It's Hagia Sophia, Topkapı Place, Blue Mosque, shop in the Grand Bazaar. You see some parts from the Grand Bazaar in this video. Dolmabahçe Palace. I love this place. It's forbidden to film inside, so you really need to go there to see what's going on and to hear the story of this place. Galata Tower is a must. Great view on the city. All the Bosphorus cruises, this is my very beloved thing. I don't have a footage, but just book a ferry. It's an hour and a half long to Prince Islands. Stay there at least for a day. Book a hotel for a night. This is a beautiful journey which is really on the cost of public transportation in Istanbul. Istiklal, Caddesi and Taksim is a must if you want to shop in one place and to eat all of the sweets Turkish has to offer. And of course, Üsküdar, you really need to take a ferry. It's half an hour long journey. Feed the eagles on your way and just enjoy your ride. I really love this journey from west to east side. It's different and it's beautiful. The best time to visit Istanbul is of course late spring to early fall, from May, June, July, August and to September. And if you're thinking about October and November and you don't plan to sunbath, this is also a great month to join Istanbul's everyday life. July and August are peak tourist season, so if you are planning to go to Istanbul as a tourist, you'll see most foreigners then at that time. And if you are thinking about relocations, as those months are the most and the hottest ones, you'll probably want to go somewhere closer to mountains just to escape that extreme heat. But remember, you'll have a perfect breeze from the sea, so a little wind will always be with you in Istanbul. And of course, if you want to walk by foot, a little bit longer, May, June or September will be the best month to live and visit Istanbul. And if you've got some rainy days, especially if you are on the busy streets and touristic ones such as Istiklal, don't worry about umbrella, they will be selling everywhere and you'll see one that will melt your heart. Turkish cuisine is just simply awesome. If you try this once, you'll never regret it and never forget it. It's truly a mouth-watering combination of mazes, fresh vegetables, seasoned meat and sweet sticky pastries. Turkish cuisine has roots in Osmaniye culture and it truly influenced the cuisine of Balkans and Middle East. And of course, it has lots of flavors because of those trading routes that was always there and are still there in Turkey. Start your meal with chorba, which is a perfect soup. Treat yourself with köfte or kebab, poğaça, mantı, börek, hamur işleri are one of those little dishes that you really should try in non-touristic places. And of course, the sweets. The queen and the king of all Turkish sweets is of course baklava, and my favorite one is künefe. And if you think that this is it, just go to the pastry shops or just to coffee shops which are selling sweets too. You'll understand that there are more flavors that it's possible to taste even if you are living a couple of months a year in Turkey. Let's talk really fast about transportation. If we are talking about public transportation, Istanbul is a great city and example where every possible public transportation is included. You can travel easily with Istanbul card, a transport card. You really need a foreigner to help you get the very first code for this transport card, and this is easy if you are staying in a hotel or the owner of Airbnb will help you, or just a friendly stranger. Modern tramway, funicular, historical tramway in Istiklal, of course, worth your attention. And just trams, they are awesome and they are expanding the city, so By the time you're watching this video, it's maybe one more new route, which is already functioning in Istanbul. Metro buses, they're helping millions of citizens and of course guests of the city to navigate through the city. Public ferry is my beloved transportation. It's really cheap comparing to private yachts and so on, and they are huge, no waves. And of course my very beloved part is that you are offering to buy tea or coffee or just choose some sweets, which is a really great thing, especially if you are there on the hot season. You need something refreshing, and if it's really windy and cold weather, you really need that cup of Turkish chai. Best experience ever. And of course Dolmabahçe. I don't think that you will see in the city center of Istanbul, but this is a transportation of suburbs and less touristic places. Those are just little buses. They're really fun navigating and most people don't love them, but I see them as a part of Turkish culture, and usually it's really great experience because they are moving fast from point A to point B, and it's just really great experience like a local. Last thing, but it's really important about Istanbul, if you are thinking about pros of living in Turkey in Istanbul, it's really a green country. And if we are thinking about those peaking Celsius, it's really hot. Turkish people somehow manage to make Turkey a really green country as well as Istanbul. There are numerous parks where it's really cold, when it's really extreme hot weather outside. Every single place will have just their little trees installed. Flowers are everywhere. If you go to Prince Islands, you understand that those beautiful pink flowers, trees, they are everywhere, as well as in most touristic Mediterranean cities. Istanbul is not outsider in this equation. It's really green city. And if you think about those millions of people who are living within the city, you'll find that living in Istanbul is really great. You'll understand that every single place possible is taken by trees or flower pots, comparing to endless crowds on every single street in this city. And those were pros of living in Istanbul, Turkey. I hope you love this city as much as I do. If you'd love to talk more about some topics about Istanbul, write them in the comments and let's travel the world together. Hopefully one day we will find together, and me as well, my happy planet. See you soon on new videos on this channel. Bye.